Hey! Hi! How you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. So, I finally played Bayonetta. After its long-awaited and finally released version on PC, I for the first time got to experience what many people consider to be video game developer Platinum Games' magnum opus. The sexy, the crazy, the out-of-this-world Bayonetta. And after having finally played Bayonetta, I understand why so many people love this game. Its unique visual style and flair, the over-the-top and once again stylish combat, the amount of variety in the levels, the gameplay, the enemy types, and just what you'll be doing in the game, how much the game plays with your expectations, how much it exceeds your expectations just when you think the game can't get any crazier, that it can't get any more epic, it throws something else your way. And then there's the title character, the main protagonist, Bayonetta herself. Sexy, charismatic, outgoing, brimming with confidence, and an absolute badass. Bayonetta is a one-of-a-kind action video game. It's unique, varied, stylish, oh so stylish, and I was very, very happy to finally play this gem. So let's take a deeper look, shall we? So first off, the story. It's trash. Wait, what? But Gamertron, you just got done praising the game a whole bunch. Yeah, I did. I still really like the game. Hell, I recommend the game if you're a fan of crazy over-the-top action games. But in terms of storytelling, this is convoluted Japanese storytelling nonsense in a nutshell. The game's plot is filled with massive plot holes, characters that do not need to exist. For example, Enzo, who is a completely useless character. He's only seen at the beginning and ending of the game and contributes little to nothing outside of exposition that another character could have easily done and it would have made more sense for, and attempted comic relief which is just awkward at best. However, I'm well aware that in this case, in terms of Bayonetta, the plot is just fluff. Even though there's a shocking amount of lore and backstory that you can uncover through collectible journals, and some of the cutscenes can be very long, extensive, with characters exclaiming exposition and their backstories and their motivations and such. And it really does seem like the devs and the writers were attempting some sort of epic plot. But it's just so convoluted, in my opinion poorly told, not aided with the addition of time travel, poorly explained MacGuffins, and just bizarre moments in the story that add up to nothing and go nowhere. So while I personally wouldn't call Bayonetta's story good, it does however have memorable moments, likable characters, and a plot twist here and there that genuinely surprised me. And there are some cutscenes that are just beautifully animated with spectacular action sequences. The choreography and animation is really stunning, even to this day. However, I think most people really love Bayonetta, really enjoy Bayonetta, really recommend Bayonetta, and the reason Bayonetta is such a cult classic is because of, well, of course, what is the most important part of any video game? The gameplay. And that is where Bayonetta shines with its unique aesthetic and unique protagonist, Bayonetta, a Umbran witch, who battles using weapons forged from demon souls, which include pistols, and pistols strapped to her heels, all while summoning avatars of demons from hell with her hair, while murdering hordes of angels. Yes, Bayonetta has a very imaginative premise and imaginative aesthetic, and it puts it to good use. The visuals and the gameplay are unique and striking, very definitive of the unique individual personality Bayonetta has as a character and as a game. Sexy, smooth, over the top, and visually engaging. Not only does the combat feel great, feeling like a classic hack and slash, third-person beat-em-up spectacle action game, comboing light and heavy attacks, every once in a while picking up heavy weapons dropped by enemies and using them on them, and when dodging incoming enemy attacks, creating a moment of slow-mo bullet time that you can use to your advantage, and the surprising ability to kind of go into a third-person shooting mode, all of which is quick, responsive, smooth, on the fly, feels so good, and of course, as I've been saying throughout this video so far, incredibly stylish. The combat in Bayonetta is so good, I wish there was more of it. I wish there was like a horde mode of sorts. A survival horde mode where you fought off waves of enemies at a time. Because combat in Bayonetta, in my opinion, is the star of the show, whether you're fighting a variety of angel enemies or the big, epic, and at times puzzle-like boss battles. Outside of regular combat though, Bayonetta really mixes it up, with a variety of ever-changing gameplay styles ranging from platforming to a motorcycle racing section, to a kind of third-person shooting bullet hell section where you're riding and attacking from a missile. Bayonetta does not let up with the surprises. Whether it be in its level design, its platforming, its combat, its boss battles, or moments in the story, Bayonetta always surprises. Throughout the entirety of my first playthrough of the single-player campaign, level to level, I was surprised with what Bayonetta had to offer me. There was honestly never a dull moment, whether it was the outlandish spectacle of combat, a challenging puzzle or platforming section, or one of the unique gameplay variants I talked about. In terms of gameplay, Bayonetta does not fail to impress. Even though this is an old game that came out on consoles a while back, even today with its re-release on PC, Bayonetta's gameplay still holds up really well. As a third-person hack-and-slash, beat-em-up, shoot-em-up, spectacle action game, it is a joy to behold. And in terms of graphics, even though the game is almost a decade old on consoles, its re-release on PC has allowed for the expansion and the bringing forth of new life into the visuals. Bayonetta's updated graphics on PC still look really good even to this day, even with some muddy old textures here and there in the environments. The character models still look really good and the animation still holds up very well. Whether it be Bayonetta herself or the variety of angels that you battle, I really gotta take a moment here to talk about the enemy roster in Bayonetta. It is spectacular. I'm used to fighting demons and monsters in my action games. Stuff that looks genuinely evil and hellish, but in Bayonetta you're fighting angels. You're fighting creatures, characters, and entities that are usually symbols of good. In other video games, in other stories, in other mythos, so how Bayonetta handles angels and how it handles them as your enemy is very, very interesting, very spectacular. The designs of all these enemies and the large variety of angels that you will fight in Bayonetta is impressive. Just when I thought, okay, this is it, they can't possibly have any more crazy angel designs to throw at me. Oh, nope, there's another one. I really enjoyed fighting the enemies in Bayonetta, the angels. It was a real fun time, especially in the combat scenarios when they're throwing multiple different types of angels at you at once and you have to vary your strategies and your combos. Pick and choose what you consider to be the deadlier target on the field, and learning the attack patterns of each different angel type and timing your dodges with their attacks, and just the killing and the fighting of the angels with the over-the-top, gruesome kills you can perform on them. Very fun. Very good time. Oh, and then there's the boss battles. The boss battles in Bayonetta are great. Not only are they visual spectacles with their designs, their massive size, the epic music that plays alongside them, but how the game really goes out of its way to make you feel like you're battling a titan, a giant enemy. The bosses will drastically affect the environment, destroying it. You'll actually climb on the bosses and use their bodies as platforms. Battling these bosses can be a battle of attrition at times as you look for their multiple weak spots, dodge their attacks, and slowly but surely wither them down to a point where you get to finish them off in a spectacular, over-the-top, visually stunning fashion. Was really happy, really enjoyed the boss battles in Bayonetta, outside of the final boss. I actually found the final boss in Bayonetta quite disappointing, not nearly as fun or engaging as the previous bosses, and there was a lot of hype building up for the final boss of the game. There was a great deal of foreshadowing for the final boss in the game, and I had heard a lot from everybody who had played Bayonetta beforehand about how good the final boss was. Finally beat the final boss and was a bit underwhelmed. Like, it's a visual spectacle, but gameplay-wise wasn't nearly as fun as the previous bosses, in my opinion. And then, you can't talk about the video game Bayonetta without bringing up the title character, of course, Bayonetta. She is indeed the star of the show. Not only is she an incredible badass, pulling off feats of unbelievable proportions, is confident and cocky, but it's not a arrogant confident and cocky. It's more like, it's a well-earned confident and cocky, cause she knows she's such a badass, and anything that comes her way, she can take care of it. Not only is her design unique and sexy, let's not forget sexy, but Bayonetta as a character herself is actually a really likable character. Despite her playing hard to get sometimes with the other characters, she's got a good heart, charisma out the wazoo, and god damn, she just has some wonderful lines of dialogue. Even though there were times where the story was very poor, Bayonetta was always there to reel me back in and make the game more enjoyable. Despite the convoluted plot, she always had something funny or witty to say, which was always engaging and entertaining, and laugh out loud funny most of the time.
If you get in my way, I will... How do the Americans put it? Oh yes, bust a cap in yo ass.
Right on, baby. Right on.
So yeah, those are my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on Bayonetta, a spectacular video game, a spectacular action set-piece marvel of an action video game. It was a blast to play. I am so glad that after all these years, I finally got to see what all the buzz was about with Bayonetta. Anyways, this has been a video. I hope you liked the video. If you indeed liked the video in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the like button. The like button helps you, helps me, helps everybody involved with the video. If you hit the like button, if you want to help out and support this video, then please share it on social media, Twitter and Facebook. And please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I love reading comments, getting nearly enough comments. Leave a comment, please. What are your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this video and on Bayonetta? I'd love to read them in the comment section down below. And if you want to help out and support me directly, well, there's always Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been a video, and I'll see you all later.